Hello everyone, welcome in this new video. This week we will analyze a new Lego set to see if it's worth parting out or not. The common rule that we usually see is that a set is worth parting out if the part out multiplier is more than 3, and today I will show you it's not a good metric because the part out multiplier does not take into account the sale speed and if the parts are selling well or not. So you really want to look at the return on investment, not the part out value, which is not the best indicator that you can use. Let's have a look at this specific set, the record player with flowers 31172, available in the US for $30 and €30 in Europe. If you look at the part out value, I will use the word prices first. You see the part out multiplier is really high, more than 3, so you could think it's a good value and you should absolutely part out this set. We will see it's not really the case because the return on investment is really low. It means that in the first 6 months after parting out this set, you will probably only get $11 back, but you invested $30, so it's not really a good opportunity. If you look at more regional pricing, because we could have some big differences, in the US we have pretty much the same values, multiplier, part out multiplier more than 3, but the return on investment below half, which is not great. In Europe it's even worse and the part out multiplier is only 2.9. If you look at the UK, almost 3 for the part out multiplier, but the return on investment is still bad. Same for Australia and same for Canada. We will have a look at the inventory, of course, in detail to understand why the return on investment is not good. But first, let's see how the part out value and return on investment evolves over time over the last few months. So if we look at the world data, it's pretty stable. The return on investment was at $15 in June and it's at 11.53 today in October. If we look at Europe data, pretty much the same trend, nothing good on the horizon, and on the United States, even the part out value is going down as well as the return on investment. Now let's look at the inventory. What I always do when I analyze a set to see if it's worth parting out is I sort the parts by price to see what are the most expensive parts. First we have I will use the word prices first. So we have the most expensive part, this plant leaves. We have 2 of them, $2, sell-through rate 8%, not that good. This black brick round macaroni, $2, 3% of sell-through rate. You will probably have that in your drawers for months or for years. This arch bright light blue, $1.58, 1% sell-through rate, not very interesting at all. This black plate round 8x8 at $1. And then we are below the $1. We see a lot of colors, a lot of very specific parts. And now we will have a look at what sells quickly. None of them in the world, maybe in the United States, none of them. So those fast moving, they have a sell-through rate higher than 50%, so you could expect to sell them in the first 6 months. In Europe, 2 parts valued at 22 cents, not great. UK, the situation is not better. Australia, not much better either. And Canada, 9 bricks, bright light blue, but the value is less than $1 Canadian. So not really fast moving parts in this set. If you look at the medium moving, which means that the sell-through rate is between 25 and 50%, we have a few parts, but only 9% of the value of this set is in medium moving parts. So maybe those parts, you maybe will sell some of them in the first 6 months, but for the others, maybe it will take an additional 6 months because a sell-through rate of 25% means that in the last 6 months, we only sold 25% of the available inventory. So you really want to price those parts accordingly to make sure that you are cheaper than the competition probably, and you could use a smart pricing to do this automatically. But that's out of topic for today. Now, if we look at the slow moving parts, 91% of the value of the part out value of this set is in slow moving parts, which means probably those parts, they will stay in your inventory for a long time. They have a high value. The part out value, as we saw, is quite high. The part out multiplier is more than 3, but those parts will probably never sell. It's good if you want to improve your metrics, to have a higher lot count, maybe a lot more variety, but probably that would be useless if you do not sell them, right? Now we can look if there is any unique part to this set, maybe. Okay, we have those plant leaves in bright light yellow. So as we said, only 8% of sell-through rate, and those bright light blue arches at 1% sell-through rate. So only 43 have sold in the last 6 months in the world, and almost 4,000 are currently available for sale. So that's not really interesting. So the conclusion would be that even if we have a part out multiplier very high, you have to look at the inventory to see if the parts will really sell or not. The return on investment is a better metric for you to understand the impact it will have on your store, and if you will have parts that will sell quickly or if parts will stay in your inventory for a long time. So my own conclusion is, do not buy this set, do not part it out, and you can use BL metrics to find other better options with the part out value and the return on investment. See you next week with another set analysis. Feel free to send in the comments which set you would like me to analyze. See you soon.